Hello traders, welcome to the Wednesday forecast. So my Instagram was disabled for some reason. I made a new one. Make sure you click the link below and do follow me on Instagram. So yeah, not sure why that happened, but needed to make a new one. And now let's get on to the forecast. So this is the euro and US dollar. Our price action was a range bound right here. Clearly stuck in a range. We have now gotten an impulse to the downside, but it's not looking promising, so I'm not really seeing what I need to see. The only thing that was good about it was this push, but then we got huge double wicks and we broke the low, retraced. So this is signaling either a descending or more range bound price action. It's not exactly what you want to see if you're a trend trader. So kind of a warning sign right here. What I wanted to see a bit more of a push down, or actually a big push down and then a clean close. I would be interested, but this is just not showing me some good price action. So right here I'm looking for a descending, more of a descending, and then a nice reversal to the upside. Maybe a nice uptrend will start at this point. Or I am looking for this to possibly continue down. Not very probable because of this break and retrace, but can happen. So I'm looking for either it to descend more, or I'm looking for more of an impulse down, or I'm looking for it to impulse to the upside and then a flag entry continuation or a break and retest entry continuation pattern. So that is what's on my mind and what's on my radar. As I said, currently I'm just not seeing what I want to see as a trend trader. So we can move on to the euro and the Japanese yen. Now there is a possibility currently to enter on a flag. So for me personally, I will not be entering on a flag because, well, a couple of reasons. First, prior price action was pretty damn crappy. So actually I'm not going to guarantee I'm not going to take a flag, but I'm 90% sure I will not be taking a flag here. So we had this ascending structure like this. Then we did reverse to a downside, but look at this impulse. It's just blue candles everywhere. We had this momentum shift, just breaking, leaving wicks, very weak breaks to a downside, just leaving wicks everywhere. Then we left a huge wick, and then in the pullback we got this clear momentum shift. Look at this candle. It's just, when you compare it kind of to the impulse, it's close. The size of it is close to the impulse. So that means a clear momentum shift, at least for me. When I see a huge wick like this, it's a very big wick, and a momentum shift, it's definitely a no trade, especially on the Japanese pairs. Maybe something like this could be tolerated on EU, but for EJ, this just does not fit my plan, this price action right here, and it's coming from bad price action also. I mean, this ascending doesn't look good. Also, we have this huge wick, liquidity grab, and then just kind of ascended. This push down is very weak. I'm not seeing momentum behind it. It's looking very range bound. So what I'm waiting for is, to be honest, well, let's see if this maybe starts to trend down. Then we can look for a flag or a break and retest. After this ascending, let's look if this will reverse and give us a nice downtrend. What I'm expecting, to be honest, because of the huge wick and an aggressive retrace, I am expecting a range. Of course, we have then the liquidity areas below and above this range. So we need to see what happens in the liquidity areas. If we get a range, do we just break and retrace, or do we actually break and then get some nice momentum, some nice follow through to the downside? So that's about it for EJ. That is about it what I can see here. I mean, we can also reverse to the upside. Then it would just signal a range to me, because the V reversal signals a larger range. But if it does continue up, then I'm looking to go long. So just being more patient with this pair also. The only high probability thing I see, so I will repeat it, is because of this ascending, maybe this starts a downtrend. So that is a possibility. Now we have the Aussie US dollar right here. We were stuck between the low and the high, then we broke the low, retraced, sign of range bound price action. Look at the larger picture, definitely stuck in a range. This is really simple for this pair. I'm just looking for conviction to the upside or conviction to the downside. Nothing more to say. It's definitely overall stuck in a larger range. Aussie Japanese yen still stuck between the low and the high. So with this one, we had this V reversal. Usually we get the range after, exactly what we are getting now. So we have liquidity areas below the low, above the high. And let's see how we react. Do we break and retrace, or do we actually break and get some nice conviction to the upside? Or do we actually break to the downside and get some nice conviction down? So that's about it for this particular pair. Again, stuck between the low and the high. Price is range bound right here, expecting more of this range. I'm looking for a trade only if it starts a nice impulse up or nice impulse down. Reversals on this pair don't work out. Usually they fail, so remember that. Don't really look for reversals, especially if the price action is really dirty. For reversals, you need some really clean price action. Then the pound US dollar. This is classic stuff, classic range bound price action. The only entry I'm looking for on the pound, of course, is a break and retest after a nice large impulse. So price action definitely range bound. You can see just stuck in this zone. But if we do get a large impulse right here and a break and retest, I will then look to sell. Or if we do impulse up and get a nice long trade, I will look to buy on a break and retest, of course. So that's about it for GU. Nothing to see really. I mean, just we can look at the prior lows. Prior low here, so broke and retraced. Then broke this low, retraced, broke the low again, retraced, broke the low again, retraced. So okay, we can count this as a descending. That is the one thing we can deduce. But again, I'm not trading a reversal on this pair. The only thing that this does signal is that possibly the price will reverse up and then it will have fuel for a nice break and retest entry. So if you see a descending and then a trend to the upside, then you know that it is high probability for that trade right here to continue up, and you can be even a bit more lenient with your setups. So you can kind of ignore some of the warning signs, I would say. If you see this descending, it gives fuel for the price to go to the upside. So okay, that's the logic behind it, but now we need to see that evidence, we need to see that momentum shift to the upside. Final pair is the New Zealand Japanese yen. So here is the high, here is the most recent low. We have broken it, actually broken, retraced, and now we're stuck in a clear range. This looks the same as the Aussie Japanese yen. Exactly what I was talking about yesterday. Looks like the move came to an end, so it got exhausted. We had this, it was an okay push up, I mean nothing to write home about, but the price was moving up. We got no potential entries, and then on the top this definitely signaled a potential ending of the momentum. You can see small pullback here, a bit bigger pullback here, and then now a huge pullback. So when the pullbacks are getting bigger, that means the momentum to the upside is losing steam, and price is likely either to range or to reverse. In this case, this is like a distribution phase, and we are getting a range. So let's see if this will continue with the uptrend, or if this will drop to a downside, or if it will range. That's the worst opportunity. That's the worst possible scenario, because if it ranges, there is no opportunity for us to take a trade. Of course, watch out for these areas right here. I would say anywhere above these wicks or anywhere below right here or right here. I would say be very careful. What you're looking for is you're looking for a large push, maybe 2 or 3 consecutive candles. So something like this, like a break, and then we actually continue up, and then we maybe continue with one more candle. That's kind of what you're looking for, to be honest, for it to break out of the liquidity zone and not just to break and retrace. That is it for the forecast. That's it for the trade recap. 0 trades. Had one EJ trade on Monday, really great, but what ended up being a small loss. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thursdays, Fridays, most high probability days for me personally, for all the trades I take. That is when we get the good setups, so be prepared. Usually in a few hours, price can definitely start trend. That's it. See you guys in the next video.